Hi, superstars. It's time for math. We are on lesson 11-2, parts of 11, 12, and 13. You learned how to make the numbers 11 to 19 using 10 frames. Today, you will learn how to begin with 11, 12, or 13, and then break it into two parts, with one part being 10. Let's look at our worksheet here. There are 13 children waiting in line for a train ride. There are only 10 seats in each train car. If the conductor fills up one car with 10 children, how many will be left to ride in the second car? Let's use counters to show 13 children on the double 10 frame. So let's fill in our first 10 frame. We are showing 13. So we're going to fill up this first 10 frame. So how many counters are showing here? 10. So there's 10 children on the first train. All right, let's go down here. All right, how many counters are in the bottom 10 frame? 3. How many counters are there in all? 13. So let's look over here. So what does this number represent? The number of children in all. How many children were in the first group? 10, right? And how many children were in the second group? Right here. 3. All right, let's complete this number sentence. We have 13 is equal to 10 plus how many? 3. So how do you know that your double 10 frame shows 13? We can count to check. So we have 10 up here. Let's erase that for a sec. Let's erase these. Okay, so we have 10 in our first 10 frame. All right, we know that's 10, so we start at 10, 11, 12, and 13. All right, let's do another problem. So let's now say that there are 11 children waiting to get on the train. So how can we show how many kids are waiting to get on the train? We'll first fill in our first 10 frame. Since it's 11, it's more than 10. So we know we can just fill this in. We don't have to count. So 10 students are in the first train. How many more will be waiting to go on the second train? So we filled up 10. We have 11. So how many counters are we going to put in the second 10 frame? 10, 11. So we added one counter to our second 10 frame. So let's look at our number sentence. 11 equals 10. Since we have 10 counters in our first 10 frame, plus how many is in the second? 1. So 11 equals 10 plus 1. Okay, we have one more. We are looking at 12 students now. All right, so how many counters are we going to put in our first 10 frame? The number is greater than 10, so we know that we're just going to fill this up. Because once we fill it up, we know that there are 10 counters there without counting. So 10, we want 12, so let's continue counting. 10, 11, 12. So our first 10 frame has 10 because it's filled up. And our second 10 frame has 2. So we're going to put 2 right here. And our number sentence is 12 equals 10 plus 2. All right, let's turn our paper over. Let's look at our first box right here. The Dolphins swim team won 13 trophies. How can they split the trophies into 2 groups to put on 2 trophy cases? Let's look at our next box to see what happened here. There's 2 10 frames, so they split the trophies into 2 10 frames. How many trophies are there in all? 13. How many trophies are in the red case? It's filled up, so that means there's 10. How many trophies are in the yellow case? 3. Let's look at our third box here. What does this phrase, 10 ones, and the number 10 represent in this red box? It represents the 10 trophies in the red trophy case. Now, what does 3 ones and the number 3 represent in the yellow box? The 3 extra trophies. Let's look at our last box here. Read the number sentence with me. 13 equals 10 plus 1. Oh, plus 3. I apologize. Let's read that again. 13 equals 10 plus 3. So what does the 10 represent? The group of 10 trophies, 10 ones. And what does the 3 represent? The group of 3 trophies, 3 ones. Which number tells the total number of trophies? The 13. All right, let's work on our first problem here. Let's lift our paper up so we can read the instructions together. Okay, for number 1, oops, let's put it back up here. For number 1, right here, count out 11 counters because we have the number 11. Trace them in the 10 frames and trace the number sentence to match the drawings in the 10 frames. So let's go here. We are going to first trace them in the 10 frames. So we'll fill in our first 10 frame because we know that is 10. And then we have 1, 1, 1, 1 in our second 10 frame. So now let's trace 10 and 1. So our number sentence is 11 equals 10 plus 1. And that's what we showed up here. 10 and 1. Let's look at number 2. Count out 12 counters, draw them in the 10 frames, and write a number sentence to match the drawings in the 10 frames. So we are going to fill in our 10 frames with 12 counters. So when we fill in our first 10 frame, we don't have to count it. We know that there are how many? 10. So from 10, we count on 10, 11, 12. 12 equals 10 plus, how many do we have here? 2. All right, let's look at number 3. Number 3 says count out 13 counters. Draw them in the 10 frames and write a number sentence. So let's put in our counters. Remember, we don't have to count the first one. We know that we're going to fill it up with how many? 10. So we count on 10, 11, 12, and 13. Let's write our number sentence. We have 13 equals, how many are in our first 10 frame? 10. And how many are in our second 10 frame? 3. So 13 equals 10 plus 3. Last problem. Count out 11 counters, draw them in the 10 frame, and write a number sentence to match the drawing. So we have 11. How many are we going to put in here? 10. Let's count on from 10. 10, 11. So our first 10 frame has how many? 10, 10 ones. And our second 10 frame has how many ones? 1, 1. 11 equals 10 plus 1. Good job, superstars. Until next time, have a great day. Bye.